Hello loves, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited that you're here. This is going to be a great video. At least I hope it is, so I guess we'll find out together. If you're new here, my name is Alyssa, and this channel is about the law of attraction, building self-empowerment, and conquering limiting self-beliefs. So if that sounds like a good time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell icon. That way YouTube keeps you notified whenever I post new content. And of course, hit that like button if you do end up enjoying this video. That like button actually helps this channel out a lot. It helps get this video out there so that more people can see it. So I'd really appreciate your help with that. So today I thought I'd talk about forgiveness. Why forgiveness? Well, first of all, I've mentioned it enough in other videos, but mostly because I'm realizing how much people actually hold on to in terms of negative energy towards someone else. Or in other words, people hold on to grudges for too long. And I know that's what grudges are, and you're not supposed to let those go, right? Wrong. I'm here to tell you that if you're in a position where you're constantly going back to thoughts of what certain people have done to hurt you, you're only poisoning yourself. Truly, you are. In most cases, the person or people who have hurt you or did you wrong are honestly not concerned with it. Again, that's most cases, not all, but either way, they either don't know that, don't care, or it is affecting them, in which case you'll be poisoning two people, yourself still included. Why do I say that you're poisoning yourself? Well, for starters, anger holds a very low vibration. No, it's not the lowest, but it's still pretty low. And by holding a grudge, you're essentially holding on to anger and allowing it to sit inside of you until you let go of whatever caused it. Therefore, you're blocking a lot of positive things that you may be trying to manifest or attract into your life. And before you say that this is all just woo-woo hippie stuff, on a more scientific level, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's happening now, what happened in the past, or what may happen in the future. This could be beneficial for visualizing new things that you want for yourself, but it could also mean reliving a lot of unnecessary pain. The more you put your focus on something that happened in the past, the more you're allowing your subconscious to affirm that it's still happening to you and that you need to react accordingly. So your heart starts pumping, maybe you start sweating, your breathing starts to increase. You're reliving that incident or whatever the case may be, and it's affecting you on a mental and physical level. Poison that can eventually transmute into something more serious like illness or disease. If you want to look at it another way, you're letting this person live rent-free in your brain, and it's costing you your well-being. It's also preventing your mind from being reprogrammed for better things. So until you deal with it and let it go, you'll be attracting similar experiences in the future. And I'm not saying you have to forget. That's usually not in our control anyway, unfortunately. But you don't have to condone any of this bad behavior that was directed at you. But understanding it and forgiving it will help you move past it. Look at this as a giant favor for yourself. You're doing this for you. Don't think of this as a favor for the other person. This is a gift for yourself that will have positive effects on so many aspects of your life. It just takes a little bit of training. You don't go to the gym once and expect overnight results, right? Maybe you hope for them. I know I'd take an overnight six-pack any day, just saying, but it doesn't work that way. So how do you do this? How do you forgive this person or people so that you can start living your best life? Well, first, you have to forgive yourself. There's a good chance that you've beaten yourself up a couple of times for whatever happened, whether you know it or not. Some part of you suggested or suggests that you deserve or can easily survive those types of circumstances. So if this is something that happened to you while you were growing up, there may have been moments as a child where you felt like certain things were your fault. Maybe someone told you that those things were your fault, and over time it latched onto your subconscious. If this incident happened later on as an adult, it may be a pattern in your life now that you've started to recognize, and you might be asking yourself how you continue letting it happen. That was me. I would often give myself a hard time for my self-destructive patterns instead of trying to get to the core of them. So the self-sabotage continued for a while, even after I was aware of it. So for this, I always suggest going within. Yes, meditate, but instead of trying to clear your thoughts, observe them and connect with your past self during those incidents that you're trying to forgive. So if this was a childhood issue, go back to your child self and explain to them that this is not their fault. Explain that it's all going to be okay, and personalize it to what your inner child needs to hear. I know that sounds cliche, getting in touch with your inner child, but realistically, if you haven't forgiven the past yet, that child will be there forever, still feeling like shit about whatever happened. If this happened more recently as an adult, go back to that version of yourself, or even your current self if that's the case, and let you know that it's all going to be okay, that you're just living out a pattern that you're working on changing now. But you have to be willing to change because there's something within you that welcomed this experience. I know that's a hard pill to swallow, but it's true. If there wasn't something within you that felt like a victim or like you deserved this in some way, then it probably wouldn't have happened. So connect with those versions of you and start forgiving yourself. You may not be able to change the past, but you can look back and give it new meaning. 2, weigh the pros and cons. Ask yourself what you're getting out of holding on to this versus how it's potentially harming you. Seriously, ask yourself, what good am I getting out of this grudge holding? Write those things down if there are any, and move on to how it's harming you. Remember, this is about bettering your life, so you have to be real with yourself for this. Are you getting some satisfaction out of being angry at this person and holding on to that? And if so, in what way? Is it worth the harm that it's doing? Is it worth keeping you stuck in these patterns that are making you miserable? Be real with yourself and be honest with yourself. 3, empathize. Before you click away, you need to understand something. We are all wired for our own individual circumstances and means of surviving life. The person or people that have caused you harm or did you wrong in some way were also victims at one point. It's not an excuse, again, we're not condoning this, but they had their own set of circumstances growing up. And maybe they're wired to believe that being the one to do the hurting will protect them from being hurt. Even if you don't feel like you've done anything to hurt them or make them treat you this way, they're still wired for specific methods of survival. They've created neural pathways in their brain that take them to certain behaviors during certain situations. So think about how they may have grown up and how they may have attracted you, a potential victim. This can completely change your perspective of them. And of course, see what's going on with you as well that may have attracted them. Empathize with yourself too. Understand that we all came to this earth as human beings who forgot who and what we are, and we've all done the best we could given what we've had to work with. But now you know how this all works and you can move forward. 4, thought catching. Catch yourself when your mind consciously goes back to that memory or memories. We're running on autopilot 95% of the time, so this can be tricky at first. But like I said, it's a training process that is so worth it. But when you find your mind wandering back to what and or who you're trying to forgive, try stopping that thought dead in its tracks and switch to something else, something nice. You can do this. You'll probably feel some resistance at first, but keep practicing. And then over time, you'll notice that you go back to those memories less often because you've trained your brain to reject them. So just switch your focus to the positive, anything positive, and start creating those new neural pathways. And number 5, look at this as a lesson. You may not be at the point yet where you feel like this is true, but it really is. There's something out of this that you either have or will learn. Nothing is for nothing, so take a moment to see what you can actually gain from this experience. Did you gain the knowledge of what to look out for so that you can make sure that this doesn't happen again? Did you learn to follow your intuition more? Did it make you realize that you need to focus more on yourself so that you can control your life and relationships for the better? That could be one of the best lessons that you can ever learn. Or maybe now you realize what you do actually deserve, and it's nothing but love and happiness, so now you're going to devote the rest of your life to only attracting those things. Looking for lessons in this will help you feel so powerful and so much more control in your present and future outcomes. So really think of how this could have made you stronger as a result. Again, you can't change what happened in the past, but you can change your outlook and your meaning of it. Don't let what happened be in vain. And this might be kind of hard to hear, but try sending that person love, or people, whoever, try sending them love. More training, I get it. But they obviously lacked this at some point in their life, and as a result, they lashed out at you and probably a few other people because they're wired to survive that way. This is something that'll be good for you because it'll help you realize that what they're going through is not your fault, and they're battling something so far beyond yourself, and it's not your job to figure it out. But you can go within yourself and heal yourself. That's within your control. That's all I have for you guys on the topic of forgiveness for today. I truly hope this was helpful. I'll go ahead and sum up real quick since we did cover a lot. 1, first you need to start by forgiving yourself and changing the meaning of your past circumstances. 2, weigh the pros and cons of holding on to this anger towards that person or people. 3, empathize and understand what the other person may have dealt with from their past and try to change your perspective of them. 4, catch yourself when going back to those bad memories and switch your thoughts to something better. And 5, look at this as a lesson that you learned the hard way, but one that will change your life for the better. You've got this. It just starts with your willingness to let go and move on. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I really hope this was helpful, and if it was, please hit that thumbs up button, leave me a comment, share this video, and more importantly, make sure you're subscribed and that you have your notifications turned on so that you don't miss when I upload next. But thank you guys so much again for watching. Please be safe, much love, and I'll see you next time.